Welcome to Daily Sports Recap from Tip to Kick. That is Daily Sports Recap from Tip to Kick. And I do sincerely apologize that I have not been able to make episodes. But it's summer. I've been moving into our summer studio. I know it looks pretty rough here, but it will get better. This is just the first episode of the summer. I'm so sorry that I've been missing episodes. That will not happen now that I'm here. Our summer studio is all set up. We are good to go, and we will start making episodes daily. But since I just missed this week, I'm just going to do a little recap of the week, and then, of course, the daily news. So, if you just want to hear about the daily news, just skip the little recap, at the beginning of each sport, and we're obviously just going to go over our regular NBA, NFL, and a little bit of MLB. But if this is your first time watching the podcast, don't judge us too harshly. We are going to set it up, and it's going to get all back into the swing of things. But please follow, please 5-star, please subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow, obviously, and 5-star if you're on Spotify. And we are currently sitting at about 76 followers on Spotify, and when we get to 100, there'll be a huge surprise. So please, let us get to 100, and follow. Tell all your friends, share this link in the group chats. Get all your friends listening to our pod. It really does help us. All right. So we're going to start off with some NBA news, and we're going to start off with just a little bit of news from the week. Okay, so Game 1, we talked about this a bit, but the Knicks took the lead 105-95. And I just wanted to say, I'm taking Spurs in 6. That's me. I'm taking Spurs in 6. But I did not see the Knicks winning. I mean, I thought it was possible. They're a great team. It was a close game. They captured the double-digit road victory, obviously. And this was a historic win, extending their postseason streak to 12, marking the first time in franchise history that they advanced to the finals with that memorable 1999 appearance against the same San Antonio franchise. Game 2, the Knicks beat the Spurs 105-104. This game was so close. It was pretty much anyone's game. But still in Texas again, so still on the road. And Wembanyama missed that jumper at the buzzer. This halted that big 14-point comeback that they're coming, but I always hate when people point out, he missed that jumper at the buzzer, that's why they lost. That's not why they lost. They lost because of little things along the way. It's not just the buzzer beater at the end. Would it have obviously won them the game? Yes. Would it have made them win the game? Yeah, but it's not just that buzzer that's the reason they lost. They didn't play great in that game. They played pretty good, and the other team, the Knicks, played also pretty good, but you got to step it up a little bit. But the Spurs, they always have a little bit of time to jump into the game, to really get in the swing of things. These young they had to settle down. They're young players. They're pretty restless. So they have to settle down a bit and get into the swing of things, and they definitely have started to do that. All right. Yeah. By taking both Game 1 and 2 on the road, the Knicks became just the third team in NBA history to do so, modern NBA history. They joined the elite company of the 1993 Bulls, 95 Rockets, both of whom went on to secure champs. All right, now we're just going to talk about the day's news. We're finally there. All right. The Spurs last night, in a great game. If you, I watched the entire thing. Well, actually, I listened to it on the radio. Underrated strat, actually, listening to it on the radio. It's, I do recommend it. Anyways, the Spurs defeated the Knicks 115-111 in Game 3 of the finals, cutting New York's lead to 2-1 and snapping the Knicks' 13-game postseason winning streak. Honestly, this is when the Spurs start to pick things up. They've already played the team twice. They've gotten the feel of it. They've gotten back into the swing of things, and then it was just time for them to cook. And in last night's game, they did pretty well. Wemby had 32 points in Game 3, 8 rebounds and 6 assists and 3 blocks, joining Magic Johnson as the only players 22 or younger to post a 35-5 line in a finals game, which really just shows how great he is. And he actually won the Magic Johnson Award earlier, which is quite a coincidence. Stephon Castle This man is clutch. He logged 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists to help stop that 3-0 series deficit. Now, if I had one complaint about Stephon Castle, he is sometimes a little too aggressive. He gives up 2 cheap fouls. Announcers have talked about this if you listen to them. He gives up cheap fouls. He is such a great player, so athletically talented, so great for that team. He works really well. He works extremely hard, but at the same time, he is like a fuse. If he gets angry, he's just gonna slap you, and he'll foul, he'll hack, and that's really the only thing that needs to change. But he's a rookie in the spotlight, so obviously we're pointing that out more, we're seeing that more, because he's playing like a rookie player, but at the same time he's in a tough situation because his team needs him to be playing like a vet, because they're in the finals, they're down 1 game, so they really need him. But sometimes he does turn in that rookie mode, obviously just because he's a rookie, so it makes sense that he plays like that. But that's really his only major, I don't want to say like downside, but really his only major flaw, basically. Yeah. But that aggressive fouling, that's something you can fix. You always want to foul that you can fix. You don't want something like you're too slow or something that you just can't change dramatically, but he can easily change that, and he definitely will as time goes on. So he's a great player now. Imagine when he has all the things locked down once he's played in the league a few years. All right, following the game, Knicks head coach Mike Brown publicly voiced his frustration over a stark second half free throw disparity where the Spurs outshot the Knicks 24 of 8 from the stripe. And the Spurs are not a great free throw shooting team. That's just one thing I wanted to mention. Listen to this game. They missed quite a few free throws, and that's definitely something that hurt them. Are obviously still coming away with the win. And just another note, one thing that the Knicks and Spurs both need to work on is turnovers. Turnovers, especially the Knicks. The Knicks had so many turnovers. They easily could have won this game if they hadn't turned the ball over. But they kept turning it over. They kept getting caught in transition. And it's just not what you need to win. And obviously it played out that way. Okay, so the next game is Wednesday, June 10th, 8:30. That's tomorrow. Yep, that is tomorrow at 8:30. Spurs and Knicks, we will definitely come on tomorrow and talk about it, preview, and definitely talk about that game a lot. All right, because that is going to be a crucial game. All right, the Atlanta Hawks have officially signed head coach Quinn Snyder to a contract extension, leading the team to a 46-win season, their highest win total in a decade. Yeah, great move by them, I believe. Bobby Webster of the Raptors has signed an extension with Toronto, adding the title of executive vice president as he enters his 10th season, managing the team's front office. And newly appointed Phillies 76ers basketball president of operations, Mike Gansey, acknowledged that the roster is not currently a championship caliber team, but stated that there are no planned summer surgeries for Joel Embiid or Paul George. I think this team is great. I do agree they need something else. 76ers obviously a great team. Have some stars, but they need they're just lacking something, and it'd be great if they could get someone in there so that they can start winning champs. All right. And the NBA issued its first wave of 14 draft green room invitations, headlined by projected top pick AJ DeBanza, expected to go number 1 to the Wizards, and De'Aaron Peterson. The Nets hosted a highly anticipated closed-door workout at their HSS training center, featuring lottery prospect Kareem Lopez and Nate Emmett competing head-to-head in that. Rumors are swirling via analyst Bill Simmons regarding a potential offseason blockbuster trade involving Giannis, though insiders note that the Celtics are not currently on his preferred list. Yeah, wherever Giannis goes, it's going to be great. Obviously, he is not at his prime anymore, but he is still an amazing player that can still make a huge impact on your team. So, hopefully he goes somewhere where he can do well and the team will go well with him. And but I think pretty much anywhere he goes, people will be excited to see him there. The Timberwolves have officially unveiled a brand new logo, uniform lineup, and court design that will debut for their 2026-2027 season. That is all we have for the NBA. Now let's move on to some MLB Boom, boom, boom. MLB, 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 MLB. All right. Let's talk about the week's MLB recap. All right, let's do this quick week recap of the MLB. Milwaukee Brewers rookie ace Jacob Morowski made history by throwing an 103.7-mile-an-hour fastball against the Rockies and marks the fastest recorded pitch by a starting pitcher since pitch tracking technology began in 2008. He threw 52 total pitches or at or above 100 miles per hour during that game. That's gas. I mean, it's pretty incredible from a rookie. And it's great for the Brewers to have a pitcher that can throw fastest like rookie of the year out there, which is obviously great to see. And when you have a pitcher throwing that fast, sometimes you don't need a lot of movement on it. Sometimes you just need placement when you already have that speed. So obviously that's great for them and pretty cool. Arron Judge sidelined by that rib fracture. The Houston Astros slugger Yordan Alvarez solidified his AL MVP candidacy. He blasted a grand slam over the weekend to take the AL lead in both home runs, 22, and RBIs, 48. So they're really kicking Arron Judge while he's down, taking advantage of this time while he's away. All right. On June 2nd, all 30 teams observed the 6th annual Lou Gehrig Day to raise awareness for ALS. Teams wore custom 4 decals, and the Giants went viral by using AI technology to recreate the actual voice of a local fan battling ALS to deliver the ceremonial play ball announcement. All right. The Rangers have enjoyed their best week. Watching them is pretty exciting of the 2026 season. They put together 5-game winning streak and captured 3 consecutive series victories to pull within 1 game of the elusive 500 for them and lock down second place in the AL West. The Braves continue on their pace. They continue to pace that entire league. They build the best record in baseball over the week, moving to 45-21 with a dominant 6.82 win-loss percentage. I did not expect this at all. If you watched our season preview episode, if you are a truly loyal fan, you probably did not expect this. Listening to me talk about it, but they're cooking. I've seen them in the power rankings, and it is pretty surprising. So hopefully they can keep that going, and they're fun to watch now, and yeah. The Rays have clung to a narrow division lead over the Yankees in a hugely competitive AL East, which I've always said is the easily hardest division in all of baseball. Despite a few stumbles from them, they are still holding that lead. All right, moving on to today's news. The Brewers defeated the Athletics 15-14 in a wild 12-inning game in Vegas. The teams combined for 11 home runs, 34 hits, and a historic display of offense. Paul Skeens and the Pirates face the 2-time defending championship LA Dodgers. Skeens takes his 2.83 ERA into the marquee season opener. Skeens is a great pitcher. He has definitely had some up and downs this season, but usually he's incredibly dominant. Yeah, this season he has had a few up and downs with a few games where he's gotten kind of humiliated, but I know he's a great pitcher. Everybody knows he's a great pitcher, so hopefully he can start proving it. Obviously he's still a great pitcher now, but hopefully he can play up to the level that we know he can play at. All right, the Phillies battle the Blue Jays in Toronto, sending Zach Wheeler against Dylan Cease. Philly took the opening game 5-2 on Monday behind a 10-strikeout gem from Christopher Sanchez. Cubs third baseman Alex Bregman candidly bashed his own play. Candidly. I had to look up how to say that word. I don't think I'm saying it right. Bashed his own play. He stated he has been terrible and awful since signing his $175 million contract with Chicago. And, I mean, there hasn't been that much news about Bregman. Usually we get some news because he's such a great player. But I don't know that he's been terrible and awful. But baseball's a long season. You have a lot of time to recover. And especially with a new team, it takes a second. Takes a second to get used to who you're playing with, so I wouldn't bash himself that much, but he hasn't been playing great, but, the gel, you don't just mesh with new teams easily. You really have to, it takes a second to get used to the season. Anyways, this Yankee superstar Judge faces an extended absence after being diagnosed with a rib stress fracture, removing one of the biggest bats from the AL MVP race. The Mariners placed their shortstop in the 10-day IL, J.P. Crawford, following a right hand contusion. Chris Bassett, the Orioles placed this veteran pitcher that we have on the IL with a back discomfort, so hopefully he can be back soon. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Tigers ace Tariq Skubal tossed 5 scoreless innings in his first rehab start as trade rumors regarding his future in Detroit. This guy's dominant. Watching him, he's just such a force on the mound. He's like a wild animal. When he pitches, he does it with such force, such authority that you just have to watch him. It's incredible to see him at work. So it's great that he's back and he's up to par. Outfielder Max Kepler signed a deal with the Diamondbacks while actively finishing out suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. So that is no good. Anyways, Major League Baseball officially proposed a salary cap system to the Players Association for the first time in over 30 years, marking a massive focal point for the sport's future labor structure. And there's always been some rumor like what will happen. Will there sometimes be a strike? And I don't think there will. I think they'll resolve all of the things that they need to resolve, and hopefully they do that fast because we don't want MLB going away. This would make the podcast episodes a lot shorter. Okay, so today's schedule. The Mariners play the Orioles 6:35 today. Dodgers, Pirates 6:40. Yankees, Guardians 6:40. Phillies, Blue Jays 7:07. Cardinals, Mets 7:10. And Brewers, Athletics 10:05. But before we get into NFL, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder. If you would like a shout out, if you have a question, anything you want right on the air, just email us at tiptokick@gmail.com. That is TIPTOKICK@gmail.com. That is all lowercase, no space. Just send us a quick email. We do birthday shout outs, literally any kind of shout outs. People have already emails, questions, suggestions. We have read them right on the air, and that can happen to you. Just hit us up with a quick email at tiptokick@gmail.com. And another message from our sponsor. Looking for a wedding in 2027 and want it done absolutely right in the DMV? I would help you, but can't. I'm underage. But if you do want to say I do and want it done perfect, please hit up Rebecca Thomas Events. That is RebeccaThomasEvents.com. She does beautiful weddings for you, your family, and whoever may need her expertise. So just please go to RebeccaThomasEvents.com and check her out. She does great work. All right, now we're getting on to some NFL news. The week recap in NFL. We already talked about this a little bit, but Myles Garrett got traded to the Rams. This was a huge transaction. The elite edge rusher Myles Garrett from Cleveland. In return, the Browns received a huge package, including young edge rusher Jared Verse, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick. Honestly, there's some controversy about this, but I think that they got a great deal. You get a great young edge rusher in Jared Verse. You get a 2027 first-round draft pick, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third. So you are stacked. So you're going to get 4 players out of 1 player. And obviously, he's not just a player. He's Myles Garrett. He's a great player. He's a great addition to that team. But at the same time, if you look into the future, you're going to get more players potentially just as good as him, maybe better. And you're just going to have more for one. So I think that this was a pretty great trade for them. But now the Rams are looking actually devious. They actually might have a chance at the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to do Super Bowl predictions yet, as we're going to do that as the season comes closer. But keep an eye on the Rams, guys. They're looking pretty good. Anyways, A.J. Brown was swapped to the Patriots, finalizing that pursuit of a top-tier weapon, trading 2 draft picks to the Eagles to acquire wide receiver A.J. Brown. And the Patriots are not looking too bad either. They have a bunch of young players at a young core. And at the same time, they have great players who have played for a while. You're getting a lot of good pieces, so that will be definitely good for them. All right. The Packers locked up a wide receiver in Christian Watson with a massive 4-year, $110.5 million contract extension. Multiple first-round draft picks signed their fully guaranteed rookie contracts this week. Notable additions include Bears defensive back Thieneman, Chargers lineman Akeem Mesidor, and Chiefs tackle Woods. All right. So we got some mini camp holdout and contract standoffs. Jacob Brissett seeks raise as the Cardinals' mandatory mini camp gets underway. Quarterback Jacob Brissett is reportedly considering a holdout amid a contract dispute, seeking a higher salary to match his role as the projected starter. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Pickens is set to play under the franchise tag for 2026, while head coach Sean Meyer expects him at camp. The front office has explicitly said they do not intend to grant him a long extension for the summer. All right, now we're going to get into today's news. Okay, Christian Watson, the contract extension we just talked about. Larice Sneed returns to Kansas City. The Chiefs are reuniting. The cornerback Larice Sneed, he signed a one-year deal worth up to $5 million, just 2 years after the team traded him away. Juju Smith-Schuster signed with the Giants. The Giants signed the former Chief wide receiver to a one-year contract, adding depth to a revamped receiver room that they have really put a lot of time into and that I've been quite impressed. The Giants have been making an effort to get a lot of pieces in that are going to help out their team. Brian O'Neill, the Vikings right tackle Brian O'Neill, is attending mandatory minicamp but is actively seeking a new contract extension. All right. The Rams left tackle Alaric Jackson was arrested on a suspicion of felony domestic battery charge. Legal charges against Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Zachariah Branch have been officially dropped. All right. Brandon Ayuk continues to apply some leverage against the 49ers. While on the reverse left squad list, he posted a video calling out the organization, fueling ongoing rumors that he expects to be moved or released before the season starts. And obviously, it's so hard when inside your team you have controversy, you feel like you're not getting paid right. But at the end of the day, you have to realize you're there to play football, and you don't want to hold out too long, because that'd be pretty bad. The Giants rookie linebacker Abdul Carter suffered a limping exit from practice due to an ankle injury. Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Is trying to work his way back to full strength from a late 2025 season injury. That is all we have for the podcast. As always, please follow, please 5-star, please subscribe. We're trying to get to that 100th follower. When we do, big surprise. Please go to Rebecca Thomas Events. That is RebeccaThomasEvents.com. If you're looking to say I do in the DMV. And also just tell your friends, post about us, get us in group chats. Please get the word out. It really does help us. I'm Christian. This is Daily Sports Recap from Tip to Kick, and we are signing off.